Do you keep a daily journal? I think journal writing is one of the best habits you can ever have. In fact, if I have one regret for life, it would be to go back to when I'm aged maybe 10 or 12 and write something in my journal every single day of my life. I think that would be so cool. Journal writing, of course, stimulates your creativity, decision making, makes you more reflective and be able to process events in your life. There's so many different advantages and benefits to having a journal. Increases your writing skills. It gives you an attitude of positive expectation, because each day you're going to have some things to report about, things that stood out for you. So in my process, I've gone through a lot of different ways of journaling, and I wanted to update you what I found is working best for me, and maybe that will be helpful for you. For a while, I did either journaling on my laptop or in a regular journal, handwritten journal. But then I got into a couple of years where I just did an audio journal. And that's where I used my digital recorder here. This is an Olympus LS10, and I'm using it for backup right now. And so I just jotted down some creative snippets throughout the day in my daily planner. Things that stood out to me or interesting things that came up. I said, oh, I want to explore that in the journal tonight. And then, on my way home from work, maybe I'd pull over and just use my recorder and just blab for 4 or 5 minutes. And I recorded all that stuff. And that was working really good for 2 years. I did that. And I'm glad I did it. I felt it was really saving a lot of time. And, you can, for 5 minutes of gabbing, you can get a lot more done than if you're typing or writing, of course. But then, I decided to switch to like an index card like this, where I use my notes. And I would just have one little blurb and I would just write it in here. And then I kept it in a box, an index box, so I could just sift through and look in, the date and then find what I wrote about that day. Maybe it was 5 or 6 different things. But then I found, I don't really like writing on index cards. So, and then I switched now to just a blank paper and a clipboard. Simple. I still use a nice pen. I like this Energel 0.7 metal tip. Works well for me. And each day I just, jot down the date and then just scribble on this. And then what I can do is I use my phone, and there's an app I use called Genius Scan. And I can literally just, take a picture of the page and then save it as a PDF. And it works really good. And then it will just go right onto my laptop. So that adds that security too, because we all should have a secure place for our thoughts, right? So that's a good way. I think it was William Faulkner, the great writer, who said, you have to be willing to kill your darlings if you want to be a writer. And that means, your best ideas, you have to let them go. And that's what I've been doing with my whole system, all the hats we wear system, from the journal writing part to prioritizing, to the roles, to goal setting, all of that. Project management. You have to just keep getting 1% better every day. That's from Atomic Habits by James Clear. Excellent advice. The other element that you still need to do is record those creative snippets. So you have to be aware throughout the day of anything that's interesting that's happening. And if you find in the beginning that a lot of interesting things are not happening, then start asking questions. What could have been interesting today? What was funny today? What was rude today? What was cringy? I've got 12-year-old sons, so I always hear that word, cringy or sus. What was sus about today? And that'll help you. So really, this whole focus of the journal writing that I have now is I like the idea of writing by hand. That adds to my enjoyment of it and that sensory connection I like. I really don't like typing, and I try to not be involved with technology whenever I can. So this is a good way to get it all done and to digitize it, which is really the goal. So let me know in the comments your approach to journal writing, and I'd love to help to get you started. Contact me through my website. I'll give you some tips and get you started on your journal. allthehatswewear.com. Thanks. Visit allthehatswewear.com for more information on how we can help you and your team be more productive and have better work-life balance. We offer coaching, trainings, and workshops that'll empower you to be more joyful, productive, and fulfilled in all areas of life. Visit allthehatswewear.com.